a cup of tea. Mm, something delicious that you love. I want you to dig in a little bit with me here, okay? Because today we're going to talk about something that's likely been on your mind for years. Time management, or as I like to call it, the illusion of time management. Okay? Because you know what? Let's get real. Let's get real. We all have those days when we look at our never ending list and we feel like we're running on a hamster wheel. But here's the truth, time management isn't about cramming as much as possible into your day. It's about managing the activities and energy in a way that aligns with your true goals and values. And we've been talking a lot about values as we've been navigating and working through, like, how do we want our life to feel? We don't need work life balance. We want this flow where everything just flows together. Okay. This is all part of it because I ran into somebody the other day, and honestly, being back, I'm in Canada for the summer, and I'm running into lots of people that I don't really see that often because I don't live here anymore. And when I run into them, they're like, "Oh my god, how are you?" And you're like, "Let's catch up," in the middle of the grocery store or the middle of the coffee shop or wherever I'm at, right? And they're like, I'm like, how's it going? Like, what, tell me in like Coles Notes version how your last year has been, right? Because I probably haven't seen you since last summer when I was here. Okay. And oh my God, it's so crazy busy. I can't even tell you what I've been doing. Okay. They're crazy busy, but they can't tell me what they've been busy doing. Okay. And this is where, like, we all have an opportunity. I mean, I don't need like this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened, but it's like, I hope, and if you're one of those people that we've run into each other lately and you were like, oh dang, that was me. That was like, I've been busy, but I don't know what I've been busy doing. Um, it's not a space of judgment, but I invite you to go, how do I spend my time? Like, how don't I know how I spend my time? Okay, we've been conditioned, and it's a big myth to believe that we just manage, like, if we just manage our time better, that we'll get more done and be more successful. This is a myth because the reality is, like, time is a fixed resource. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Me, you, the person at the coffee shop, Oprah and Beyonce. Okay. We all have 24 hours. What we are actually managing is our activities and our energy and our focus within that 24 hours. Okay. Like, think about it. How often have you set out to tackle your massive to-do list only to find yourself procrastinating or distracted or overwhelmed? Okay. You might check off a bunch of small tasks, but the big, meaningful things that are actually going to move you forward, the ones, right? You know which ones I'm talking about. They're going to be untouched. And a lot of people have this for years, 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 years. Okay. Our typical to do list is often a mile long. We feel productive when we're like, check, 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 check. And if you're like me, you love a checklist. Okay. But we're actually setting ourselves up for this cycle of stress and dissatisfaction. So, why do we do this? Well, we do it because we only put on the list what we think we can do. And will avoid the things that are actually going to keep us out of survival mode, right? Your to-do list might look like this, like pick up dry cleaning, do laundry, clean house, pick up groceries, drop Timmy off at hockey, right? Like, these are the things that are just like, it's your long list of to-dos and you're doing them, but all of it's to keep you in the moment. It's not actually going to keep you in the moment and move you forward. And for a lot of people, it's like the comfort zone, right? And what happens is you actually have these very inspired tasks that are planting seeds to actually move you forward as well, for when like little Timmy's graduated now and is going off to college, and you have all this time on your hands. But guess what? You're going to find your time will be filled. Right? I always used to Dave and I always said, when we like after we had Isabella, we were like, what did we do with our time before we had, first we started with the dog, right? Before we even had the dog, we were so busy. And then we had the dog and we had to like, be home to like feed him and walk him and be with him. Then we started having kids. Oh my gosh, like how did we even fill this in? Or I was talking to somebody the other day that's been retired for the last year. And she said to me, I don't know how I fit work into this. You know what I'm talking about? How did I fit work into my life? Like I'm so busy. Okay. Nature abhors a vacuum. Okay. If you've ever heard this phrase, and it means all time and space will always be filled. Okay. So if you're constantly living from your to do list that's just keeping you in the moment, be prepared to, like, you're always going to be busy. You're always going to be busy. It's never a thing. All time and space is always filled. Even sitting there binge watching Netflix and doing nothing is doing something. Okay. But you have this seed of something that you're wanting to do outside of what you call your current personal life or your current professional life. You have this thing, but what it's taking up mental space. Like it's sitting there, and then you shut all over yourself. You're like, oh, I should be doing that, I should be doing this, I should be, and you don't do it. Right. And it creates this like unease within you, and it's actually robbing you of your true potential, because all the things you think you're showing up in out here right now, you're like in the state of, because you're constantly trying to, I gotta do this and I gotta be here and I'm supposed to work out today and I'm supposed to, and I'm supposed to, and I'm supposed to. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a step back. Okay. And I want you to look at how you're currently spending your time. Okay. I want you to think about your typical day or week. What activities are filling your time? If you need to grab your calendar or open up the app on your phone, if you're me, everything's in there. Okay. I can tell you exactly how I spent my time. Okay. What activities are filling your time? How much of it is spent on tasks that truly matter and are going to move you forward versus tasks that just need to be done? Okay. When I tell people like what I'm up to, they're like, "How do you even do all of that?" I'm like, "Well, I don't take on anything that I'm not passionate about." That helps. We talked last week about like putting up boundaries and like saying no, right? And it's a complete sentence. Imagine that. Right? And it's my belief system. I get it. If you're like, "Oh, I'm in my stuck in my to-dos." I used to be the exact same way my whole day. And if you've read my book, okay, You Can't Mess This Up. Copy right here, okay? I actually talk about it in the book about how I literally had my to-do list, and my whole, like, whether I had a productive or good day was based off of whether I checked all that stuff off or not. Okay. And so I know that I'm not the only person that does this, because I've talked to lots of people that have now read the book and they're like, that part really resonated with me. And it's like, yes, that's most people. I know this. Like a lot of the stories that I tell in here, that was like all the things that I'm working on myself on. Like I didn't just make it up. Okay. So I want you to look at where are you currently spending your time. Now think about the activities and how they make you feel. Do they energize you or do they drain you? Like if you have anything on there that drains you, it's got to go. Are you aligned? Like is this activity aligned with your core values, or are you just doing busy work? And even with like access to social media now and getting stuck in the scroll hole, like that's the ultimate like time sucker. People are like, well, I know I spend 8 hours a day at work and I sleep for 8 hours a day. So where am I spending the other 8 hours? How's that for quick math? Quick math in my head. Okay, where am I spending it? Well, you're spending it somewhere, okay? Some of you might be like, "Oh, I'm commuting for 2 hours." Okay, that's fine. Does that serve you or not? Decide. "Oh, well, I've gotta, get ready in there. I've got to like, oh, I have usually 45 minutes on either end of my day that I'm like in the scroll hole." Okay. There's no judgment. Does it serve you or not? Like literally grab a piece of paper, you guys, and jot down the activities that are taking up your time, or even just for a 24-hour period, because there's an 8-hour chunk of day. So if you're like, I got 8 hours where I'm at work, I 8 hours where I'm sleeping. Okay. There's 8 hours there. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing for them? If you need to capture them because you're looking at your calendar and you're like, this kid had this activity or whatever. But it's just like, even when little Timmy is at hockey practice, like, you're not at hockey practice. What are you doing? Like, you decide. Okay. And next to each one, know how it makes you feel: fulfilled, stressed, neutral, whatever. Right. Because even if you're like, oh, well, little Timmy's at practice, I sit there and I chat with the other parents. Okay. Do those conversations serve you? Up to you. Have you found a really good group and you guys empower each other and you're feeling amazing and it adds value to your life? Awesome. But I've been talking to quite a few people lately that they're like, yeah, no, it really doesn't. But what else am I going to do? What do you want to do? Like, it's your time, yours. Like, this is a really simple exercise. Okay. And now here comes the illusion of time and how we spend our time, because you get to now break free from this to-do list mentality. What if instead of a to-do list, you had a to-be list? A list that purely focuses on who you want to be rather than what you need to do. Okay, this shift is massive, like really massive, if you allow it to be. Because when you base your activities on your to-be list, you're aligning with your daily actions, with your higher self and your true goals. You're not just like checking off just to check off and then judging your success by it. Okay, so just start to ask yourself, what do I want to be in my personal and professional life? What qualities do I want to embody? Do I want to be the person that sits there while this, and this is happening and just watch everybody else do their thing that lights them up? Because every day you have an opportunity to do something that's going to move you forward. Every day. These are the guiding principles. Maybe you want to be more present, more creative, more courageous. Maybe you want to make more money. What does that look like? How are you going to do that? Right? Like, not, but then you might go, well, I don't have any ideas to make more money. Well, give yourself permission to add it to your to-be list. Okay, you have to start doing the things that most people don't do in order to have what most people don't have. We've just been programmed to settle. That this is, oh, I guess it's just the stage of life I'm in, or I guess it's just like, I started my business, you guys, when my girls were newborn and 2, because I was like, I can't even wrap my head around, like, not, um I got to do something now, even though it's really busy. I've got a newborn and a 2-year-old. Doesn't make sense to start a business right now. My husband's working shift work in a super stressful job. Doesn't make sense for me to do this. But if I want my life to look and feel the way I want it to look and feel, it's up to me to do it. But first, I have to be the person that is it, right? Be, then do, then have. Right now, you're only doing what you're aware that you, or what you believe you think you can do. What else is possible? Start building out that B list, and then your to-do list will come from it. And everybody's is gonna look different. This is the best part about us all being unique individuals. Use your to-be list as a filter for what gets your time and attention. Our summer this summer has looked totally different than last summer and the summer before. Looks totally different. Not necessarily like, yeah, a little bit in like the people that we see, in the activities that we do, in the conversations that I'm having. It looks totally different. And that's okay. It's called evolution. We're all designed to do it. Just, you got to give yourself permission to do it. If you went through your entire calendar, does it align with who you want to be and how you want it to feel? Okay, you get to tap into that higher self to guide you throughout your day of doing. This is where your intuition and that like inner wisdom come into play. Okay, instead of just following, it doesn't mean you have to like follow this rigid schedule. Tune into what feels good in the moment. People keep saying to me, "Oh my gosh, you guys live in Barbados. How long are you going to live in Barbados?" I'm like, "I don't know until we don't." Till we don't. There's no right or wrong answer. "Oh, you're doing this now. How long are you going to do that?" I don't know, till I don't. Till it doesn't feel good. Okay, the sooner you can give yourself permission to stop filling your time with activities and people and places and things that don't feel good, your whole life will change. And this like balance that you think you're searching for right now will start to figure itself out. Okay, but it starts with aligning your activities with your higher self. In the Activate membership, we're actually diving into this like crazy this month. So if you're not in there yet, hop over to the Pursue You app. Okay, download it, get into the Activate portal, and we're digging into this. There's like a whole challenge based on it. But I want you to ask yourself those questions. What activities in your daily life are aligning with who you want to be? Don't wait. Don't wait till little Timmy is gone off to university and then, oh, who am I outside of being a mom? How can you start to set boundaries now with your time and start protecting what matters most to you? How are you going to tap into your higher self to guide your daily actions? Because if you want to have something different, you got to start doing something different and being something different. And it doesn't have to be well, I give up everything. I'm still married to the same guy and have the same kids. And for the most part, I hang out with the same people. But my life is like totally different. And it's this one principle: no is a complete sentence. DM me, you guys. I want to hear about the whole thing. I want to hear about your whole journey. Can't wait. Have an awesome day, you guys.